guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with Mandy, my service dog in training, and today we are going to be talking about what she does for me, and we're going to talk a little bit about service dog education. So let's get to it. So to start off, this is Mandy. She's going down. This is Mandy. She is my 10-month-old Australian cattle dog service dog in training. She is absolutely spectacular at her job. She is learning so much. I got her in January. We started training with her around 2 weeks after we got her to make her my service dog, and the reason I got her was because I went through an extremely traumatic event in my junior year of high school, which was last year, that caused me to get PTSD, extreme social phobia, and a lot of anxiety. So talking with my psychiatrist, he recommended, after I brought it up, I was like, hey, so do you think a service dog would be a good idea? And he recommended that it was a good idea, and so we started looking for a service dog. And when we found Mandy, she was perfect. She is non-reactive, very kind, very caring, very in tune with my emotions, and does a lot, like energy-wise. So she's not like a lazy dog, and very, 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 very smart. So she was perfect. So we ended up adopting her, and then realized that she was also in tune with my chronic condition. I have chronic vestibular migraines, which can cause me to lose feeling in my arms and my legs sometimes if they're like really strong, or make the room spin and I get dizzy, and they're awful, I'll tell you that much. Now, other tasks Mandy does for me is she also has tasks for my anxiety. So if I'm having a panic attack, if I'm heavy breathing, she will do a DPT, which is like an alert. So she will lay down on me and basically tell me to get on the ground so I don't faint. Here's your toy bag. Another alert she does is an itch alert. So like if I'm having an anxiety attack, like I itch, I rub, she will like lightly bite and try to get my hand off of my arm to stop myself from hurting myself. So she has that alert, and then she also has a crying alert. So if I'm like really in the middle of a panic attack, and she has that alert for to distract me from whatever's causing me the anxiety alert. So she has those alerts. And Mandy, what else do you do? We're working on a fiddling alert, so like if I'm fiddling or something, she does that, sort of like gently gnaw to try to get me to stop fiddling. So she has those alerts, which are very helpful for when you are in public and you're not really realizing that you're having a panic attack, but in the end, holy crap, I'm having a panic attack, I'm gonna die, all that sort of stuff. She's very good at helping me prevent that, because my disability very much prevents me from living a normal life, going out in public and trying to, go shopping is it's like really hard for me. So she definitely helps in that aspect, and now I can live a normal life. The different types of service dogs, they're pretty awesome. There are guide dogs for the blind, hearing dogs for the deaf, psychiatric service dogs for people with mental disabilities. There are medical alert dogs, and I think that's all of them. I think I'm missing a couple. Mandy, out from under the couch. What are you doing, Goof? And let's see. So each of those have different like requirements in order to pass and become a service dog. Now, in the aspect that Mandy does both, in order to do both, she has to pass her psych tasks, but then she also has to pass her medical alert tasks. So one of the medical alert tasks is she has to retrieve my medication. So what I have is this pull, like a rag on my door to my cabinet, and she'll go down and pull the door open and get my medication from the cabinet and bring it to me, which is pretty cool. I think I definitely like the fact that she does that. It was very easy to train for her. She's very smart in that aspect, but I'm not sure on the other service dogs, so I was really only focused on mine. But like, let's talk public access. So there are 3 different types of assistance animals. There are therapy dogs, emotional support animals, and service animals. Now, which of those have public access rights? Per the ADA, which is the American Disability Act of 1990, the service animals are the only ones that have public access because they are considered medical equipment. Now, why don't the others have public access rights? Now, an ESA doesn't have to be trained at all. You can literally just register a jar of peanut butter and it's your emotional support animal. With service animals, they have to go through rigorous training for years in order to get public access rights. Since emotional support animals do not have those and are not considered service animals under the ADA, no public access rights. Therapy dogs, they're a little different. Therapy dogs require also a ton of training, but because they are not in tune with their handler, they're focused on helping everyone else, they don't get public access rights because they do go through training, but they're meant to focus on everyone else. So like, for example, let's say like a whole bunch of people are having a problem in like the middle of a Home Depot, and this dog is running and trying to jump on them, you know, to make them feel better and things like that. That just doesn't work. So the only animals that have public access rights are service animals. So other things about service dogs. Service dogs can be owner trained. There are many owner trained service dogs. It is much easier to, or I shouldn't say easier, but it's less expensive than trying to pay $40,000 for an already trained service dog. Granted, owner training is 20 times harder, and there is a very, very, very high washout rate. Which a washout rate means basically the dog cannot complete its training because it gets reactive, it's scared, it's just untrainable, like it just, many dogs wash out. So it's very, very, very recommended you go through a program, but for the ones that can't afford that, owner training is the only option. So when you owner train, you have to be very careful to realize if your dog washes out, it's gonna be your pet. So you have to be able to hold that, you know, or do tons of like research and finding your right dog. And even then, sometimes the dog washes out. So, yeah, so that sort of covers that. Oh, other thing, there are no registrations or certifications in the US. Those are all scams. Many people think that they can go online and get like a registration for their dog, cat, and say, oh look, I have an emotional support animal, it can go everywhere. But that is false. There are no registrations or certifications in the US because of that aspect that the ADA does not require one. So anyone who tries to register their service dog or ESA, just know that you're spending $50 to $150 on a scam. Don't do it. Don't do it at all. Oh, let's talk about college. So I'm leaving for college in the fall. Basically 3 months from now I'm leaving for college, and Mandy will be coming with me as she is a service animal, so she will be living in the dorms with me and coming to class with me and basically doing anything that I do. She is with me 100% of the time. Now, how did I get approved to bring my service animal to college with me? Well, it's quite simple. So I had to, once I accepted my college deposit and, you know, accepted their offer, I called my college admissions office and they redirected me to the disabilities director. I basically had to have an interview with him and, you know, tell him about Mandy and tell him what Mandy does for me and what disabilities I have. And well, they legally can't ask what disabilities, but, you know, like, is this service dog for a disability, which is, there are only so there are only 2 questions a restaurant or a like public place can ask. 1, does this dog provide tasks to mitigate a disability? Yes. And why am I forgetting the second one? I don't know why I'm forgetting the second one. I'll post it right there because I'm sorry, I'm totally forgetting the second one right now. It's just skipping my mind. But yeah, so Mandy is, you know, very young, so service dogs and trainings typically aren't covered by the ADA because, you know, they're not fully trained. So having to train Mandy and get her fully trained was in time for college is very difficult. So that was one of my problems I was having to go through with my disabilities counselor. He was very much like, okay, I want to do what's best for you, but we have to make sure that, you know, the dog's fully trained and is not going to cause any problems. So of course, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, she'll be trained and everything like that. So we work on training every single day with her. She is doing very, very well. I suspect she'll be full trained by August. or at least hopefully. Also, so like the other thing is my disabilities require crowd control. So Mandy does not legally have to be on a leash, because under ADA, if the task that the dog must perform is a leash is going to interfere with that, aka crowd control, the dog does not have to be on a leash. So I'm currently training Mandy an off leash because I do not want her on a leash for crowd control. It's just 20 times easier without a leash. So Mandy is training, you know, to do the off leash with, like, I keep her on a leash, but I don't hold it, so that way I have an easy access if she, you know, does do something or has a problem of some sort. But yeah, so that sort of stuff. So back to the disability director. Once he realized, you know, that I needed Mandy and that Mandy was definitely a service dog, he approved her, so she will start college with me in the fall. And service animals are great things. They are spectacular, very helpful things, but they are not for everyone. Most people think it's cool to have a service dog. Oh, it's awesome. But what they don't think is all the negativity that comes with it. You don't look disabled. Why do you have a service dog? That dog can't be a service dog. That dog is not a golden retriever or a poodle. Those dogs cannot be service dogs. Why do you have a service dog? You don't need one. And just lots of hate comes from it. That's a fake service dog. That's not a real service dog. And there's just so much hate that comes with having a service dog, and if you can't physically know how to handle that, it's not the right thing for you, because it's not fun in that aspect of you're walking out in public, eyes are always on you, you are constantly getting access issued, people are like, you can't have a dog in here, you can't have a dog in here, and you have to tell them, yes, I can. And you know, you're constantly getting in battles with people, thinking about the risks every day of fake service dogs, because people will try to fake their service dogs. I know it sounds awful, but people do. They'll bring their dogs into places like Walmart and places like Home Depot and places like, I don't know, the grocery stores. Like, people will bring their dogs into places they shouldn't, and there's a huge risk with that. Service dogs, you know, they're our lifelines. We need them to live, and without our dogs, when people bring pets into them and their pets attack our service dogs, our lifelines, there's a huge risk for that every day, and that's thousands of dollars if your dog gets severely injured that you have to spend out of pocket that you might not be able to afford because of the aspect that you're trying to train and try to make sure that your dog has the best training, you know? It's just that risk that you face, and then all the fighting that comes with, oh, that dog shouldn't be in public, that dog is a pet, that dog is not a real service dog, that dog should not act like that, and it's just tons of fighting. And this is my other dog, Luna. Tons of fighting and negativity that comes with it. It's not fun, and you know, you just have to be able to, you know, afford that, you know, or not like afford it, but you know, like understand that that's going to come with it. And if you can do that, then maybe it's the right option for you. Now, I'm not saying it's all bad. The reward that you get for training your own dog and then seeing them flourish and, you know, actually like have fun learning what they want to do. Like, Mandy gets so excited to work now. She is just all excited non-stop. She loves it. And, you know, that bond that you get with your dog is just spectacular. But, you know, there's the negativity aspect. And it's just sometimes it might be better to, you know, not do it. Not saying that you should. I mean, it was the 100% right choice for me. That's just, you have to make sure it's the right choice for you. Now, that being said, there's a lot of speculation that service dogs don't get to have fun. Service dogs are work all the time, no play. Mandy does not work all the time. When the minute this vest comes off, she has free reign of the farm. She runs around, she goes horseback riding, she non-stop plays. This dog has more toys than anything in the entire world. She has so much fun every day. She chases the chickens, she chases the sheep, she goes to the dog park to play with her best friends because she has two amazing best friends that she loves to death. This dog will literally play non-stop, but when she's working, you know, people don't typically get that. They're like, oh, they're just robots, it's cruel, you know. They don't see the other side. They just are assuming that they don't get to have fun. that they're just like, they're medical equipment, you know, and that they're living an awful life. Mandy is better treated than any other dog. She gets fed raw food. She get like good raw food, you know, not like just like pure raw food, but like ones that come from like a really good company, like one of the best companies in the world for raw food. She gets fed like supplements that, like, you know, like really good, just like food seasoning on her food. She gets salmon oil for her coat. She gets a bath whenever she gets even a little bit of dirt on her. She gets tons of toys. She gets she gets outfits. She has tons of outfits. She is better treated than anything else. She has rec specs, which are dog goggles. She has bless me. Bless me? Yeah, okay. She has dog shoes. She has everything, you know. She is better treated than 90%, not to say like she isn't, like, those dogs aren't being treated well, but like she's definitely spoiled, I'll give it that. And, you know, these dogs are our family. They are not pets. They might like, you know, people think they're pets when they're like not working and stuff, but they're not pets. They are a family. Like, they get everything I get, she gets. Like, if I get a sweatshirt, she gets a sweatshirt. That's just how it is with me. And just to say, you know, that's just how it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about service dogs, please reach out. I would love to answer any questions that you have. And Mandy, come say bye. Come. Mandy, come. Where's your toy? Mandy. Come. Now say bye. Mandy, bye. Mandy, say bye. Bye, guys.